Question number 4 says, write an equation to represent the cosine function with a max at y equals 0, a min at y equals negative 0.6, a period of pi, and a phase shift of pi over 4 to the right. So I'm going to start this off with the phase shift pi over 4 to the right. So I've drawn my position at pi over 4 to the right, and I know that for a cosine function, because a cosine function starts like that, it starts at the max, so that represents the starting point, or where my phase shift should show up. So my phase shift shows up at the max at 0. Okay, so that's the first part I figured out. I should figure out my amplitude and my vertical shift, and I can do that by just kind of finding out where my middle is here, my vertical middle, and it's going to be at negative 0.3, and I can see that my amplitude then is equal to 0.3, and my vertical shift is going to be negative 0.3. Okay, so working out my horizontal positioning, I know my horizontal positioning is pi over 4 to the right, and from min to max to min, that's half my period. So this should then represent half the period, or pi over 2. So then this position here is going to be 3 pi over 4. Okay, so that's going to be my positioning there. And really I can just, from that, for my period, I can work out my b value. So my t value, period, is going to be pi. That makes the b horizontal compression going to be equal to, the b will be times by 2. Okay, so the b value is going to be 2. So it's going to be 2 pi over 2, which is just 2. So now I pretty much have all the parts I need to write this equation. So my equation for my cosine function, okay, I'm going to put in my 0.3 as my amplitude. I should have a plus 0.3 at the end for my vertical shift. That's going to be 0.3 plus 0.3. That's my d value. And inside the function, the horizontal, I'm going to have a times 2 for my horizontal compression. And then for my phase shift of pi over 4, it's going to be minus pi over 4. And that represents my phase shift. So then I have all the parts I need. I've got my amplitude, I've got my vertical shift, I've got my horizontal compression, and my horizontal shift involved in that. So there's my equation.